Alright, hey, it's Chris. We're going to do another quick video here. This time it is using ChatGPT to turn images into solutions. Um, so I'm going to go over an example of how I used ChatGPT recently, where I took a picture. I used my phone. I'm going to demonstrate it here on the computer just because it's easier to. But I have the ChatGPT app on my mobile, and whenever you go into try to share this as much as I can, um, where you start typing into your chat, there's a little plus right next to it, and you can bring up and capture an image. And that's how I did this. And I just transferred the chat session over into the desktop version. But I'm going to share the desktop version just because it's easier to share. So here's what it is. I took a picture. So my wife and I, we have a bunch of orchids around the house. We really like them. We took a chance on one that was on clearance for just a few bucks. Um, but we got home a couple days later, it um, looking pretty sick. So I asked GPT, hey, we got this orchid on clearance at a grocery store. I did let them know that, hey, we've got a lot of several orchids and they're thriving. So we know what we were doing with them. But this one looks sick. What's wrong? And it kind of goes through, it notices that the leaves are turning yellow, but the other leaves are firm and green. It is common for an orchid to shed leaves, but I know that, but it just looks unhealthy here. It talks about the roots. Some of them are dried out. Usually, healthy roots are plump and a greenish silver. Um, then it kind of goes possible causes, natural leaf loss, that's normal. Um, Roots are shriveled, may not get enough water, light stress, past stress. Uh, so lots of different things. And that gives us some checklist of what we can do. We can check the roots, we can repot it, water it, make sure it's got the right environment, lights, avoiding drafts, things like that, and just letting the leaves fall off naturally. Good news is plant's not doomed. Green leaves look healthy. Uh, and then get asked if I want step-by-step instructions. Well, I started looking at it a little bit more, and I noticed at the base, and this is just a close-up view that I took with my camera of the base, kind of where the top part of the plant meets the roots. And I noticed some black stuff down there. So I asked this, there appears to be some more damage here at the base, just above the roots. Do you still think this plant is not doomed? It says, thanks for the close up. What you're showing is very important. And what it sees is uh, at the crown or the base area, blackened tissue. Looks like the beginning of crown rot or basal rot, which is one of the more serious issues an orchid could face. And the roots real close there look dried up and shriveled, which I agree. Um, if the rot spreads upward to the crown, the plant will no longer grow leaves. If it's confined just to the outer layer, you still have a lot of green tissue beneath. So there is hope. So it gives me a checklist of things to do. Inspect the rot, remove the rotted tissue, and it gives kind of instructions here to make sure your blade or scissors are sterilized before cutting into it, dusting it with ground cinnamon, which is interesting, which is a natural antifungal that is safe for orchids. Keep it dry there at the crown and encourage new roots. So make sure we repot it in fresh orchid bark, which is a medium that orchids grow in, not just regular soil. Um, and gives us what it thinks is wrong. The rot, if it's superficial and we act quickly, we still have a chance of recovery. If it is deep rot, maybe we're not going to be able to save it. Uh, it's not necessarily doomed, but it's at a critical point. So I need to get in there, remove any rotted tissue, repot it, and make sure that it's got the right sun, the right medium that it's growing in, and avoid drafts. So pretty cool turning my images here into a solution. There can be all kinds of use cases for this. You can use it for uh, computers, so you can actually take a screenshot here. I took one real quick earlier of this ChatGPT UI. Say you don't know what codex is, if you just copy this into the text box here and say, hey, what does codex mean? Or any other software application that you might have. Maybe you're running into an error. You don't understand the error. Take a snip of it. Ask GPT to help you solve it and diagnose it. Uh, Signs. If you're in a foreign country or something, you want to translate a sign, take a picture of it, ask it to translate it. Does a pretty good job there. Um, Mechanical work. We've heard people taking a close up of a small engine like a lawnmower or weed eater or something like that. Maybe there's appears to be a wire loose. Say, hey, the lawnmower won't start. Do you see anything wrong? And it might be able to help you diagnose what's wrong. Not only diagnose what's wrong, can give you a step by step technique of getting it reconciled. So, it does come down here. Do you want a step-by-step orchid ER rescue guide with cutting, cinnamon, and repotting instructions? So it can give me kind of a step-by-step guide of the things that we talked about here, what its diagnosis is, what its proposed solution is, and how to work on it. So I do hope you find some useful tips here and using ChatGPT to uh, turn your visual problems that you can take pictures of into solutions. Thanks and take care.